What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Arm Barn Podcast. I got an extremely awesome guest for you guys today. Honestly, before he's doing what he's doing now, he would have been an awesome guest, and I would have been pumped up to have him on the show, just being one of my college teammates. We've been through a lot together on the field and just in college as a whole. But now that he's doing what he's doing, I can't wait to hear more about this. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's with the Savanah Bananas / Party Animals now. So welcome to the show. Chase, what's up, buddy?
How's it going, Mitchie? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, buddy. I'm really excited. I know we were supposed to have you on last week. Some crazy stuff with the hurricane. Totally understandable there. I figured a bunch of power outages. It just probably wouldn't have been the best situation to do a podcast. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have you on this week. I'm excited to get into some of this stuff. So yeah, the first thing, you've seen the show, everybody. Hopefully we kind of have the routine down now. I created a song for you. It's stupid as hell. As usual, if you've heard any of my other ones, they're usually pretty dumb. This one is called Banana Ball. So everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's guest song of the week. So Chase, you can just cut your mic, buddy. I'll cut mine too. What up, y'all? It's the Arm Barn Podcast. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. Yeah, the foul lines are painted, that green grass is faded. We out here in Savannah and I can't believe we made it. The crowd is all packed up and they're ready to go catch a foul ball, and you're gonna be a part of the show. Yeah, 2-hour time limit so it never gets too dark. If you're looking for a bar, go to another ballpark, cause it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. We in Savannah, y'all, cause it's Banana Ball. It's the Party Animals versus our hometown Bananas. Everybody give it up for the city of Savannah. No walks, no mound visits. If a fan catches a foul ball, it's a now. Now this ain't cricket, is that worth the price of the ticket? Yeah, but if everything so far wasn't good enough, yeah, it's time for the showdown. Let's find out who's tough. It's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. We in Savannah, y'all, cause it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. Yeah, it's Banana Ball. It's Banana Ball. All right, everybody. That was this week's guest song of the week. Chase, real quick, what'd you think, buddy?
Dude, I mean, I think you got a future in the music industry. I mean, come on, man. I didn't know you had that in you. I knew you liked the freestyle and whatnot.
I've been, honestly, it's been hilarious. I throw some auto-tune on there. I use a little free software that I found, and it's honestly hilarious. It always seems to put a smile on my guest's face, so it's been fun doing that. I think it's stupid, but I've always been a little bit musically inclined besides on the voice side of things. My voice is miserable. But yeah, with auto-tune, it's a beautiful thing to make some funny joke songs for the guests that I have on. I literally just typed in, I went over to your guys' website just to get a little inspiration. And I saw the little handbook, the Banana Ball Rules for Dummies or whatever it is. I don't know if you've ever seen that on the website. So I just went through the rules and I just created a little song about that. So everybody, I hope you guys like that song of the week. But yeah, moving on, dude. We're gonna get into
one more thing on that song. I mean,
yeah,
I've sent it. In the Savanah Bananas, there's a bunch of TikTokers. I mean that song should be played before every game, in my opinion. It explains the rules. It's got a good vibe. I'll send it out to my guys in Savannah. Maybe just run it as a TikTok sound, and let's see where it goes from there.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna see if I know you have that crazy clip. I was gonna post some clips that I even have of us from college. To that song. So I'll definitely going to be, posting that on TikTok too. So I'll tag the Savanah Bananas, but that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that.
I'll see what I can do.
That's it.
Yeah. No, that's a good song.
Awesome. But yeah, we're going to get into the Savanah Banana stuff. That's kind of what I wanted to close the interview with. Obviously, besides some of the fun stuff we're going to do at the end. But first, I want to talk about just how we know each other, how we met, kind of just the rundown of your career a little bit. Because I think you're a hell of a baseball player. And to be honest, I'm kind of, now don't get me wrong, I think you kind of are going to have an awesome experience with the Savanah Banana stuff. But you're a guy that I wish could have gotten a chance to play some pro ball, man. I think you're a stud. I think you got one of the best gloves I've ever seen. So let's get into some college stuff. Give me the rundown, dude. I know your story for me is one of the most infuriating stories I've heard, and just like, kind of you basically getting no love out of high school. I was in a similar situation, right? I only had ended up getting two offers. I was picking between two Division II schools. After having a pretty good high school career, after thinking I, was a pretty good baseball player, that was tough. You know what I'm saying? So definitely just kind of run me through the college process for you and what that was like.
Yeah, so it was like, throughout high school, everyone wants to be a D1 commit. Grew up, I was a USF fan, actually. Everyone in Florida wants to go to FSU. I would have loved to go any D1 school.
St. Pete, Tampa guy. Come on now.
But I grew up cheering for the USF Bulls, would have loved to go there. I just was not getting the exposure that I thought I was going to get. I would get those perfect game emails or a chain email from a college. And I'm like, oh, they're talking to me. And I went to some camps, and I shortly found out that they had, if I wasn't hitting the ball the farthest or throwing it the hardest, they wanted nothing to do with me. Yeah. So,
I totally understand that. I have a lot of kids. What I'm doing now is helping a lot of kids with some recruiting stuff. So I hear this kind of stuff is all the time, where kids who can really play just don't get the love that I think they deserve sometimes. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and then it was I would say it was my senior year of high school, still no offers. And it was towards the end of my senior season. I was actually I didn't make the team my freshman year at my high school.
Yeah, I heard that. This is what I'm talking about.
There's no JV in Pinellas County. It was one of the only counties in Florida at the time that didn't have JV baseball. So I made the final cut my freshman year. Just I was really short, undersized. Didn't make it. So I was actually thinking about, I had one class left to graduate. I was going to drop it, fail economics on purpose, and then come back another year. But then, I was getting senioritis. I was like, man, I can't do this. And then luckily, I was friends with Ryan Renero, the old coach Juan Renero, who recruited me at Eckerd, his son. And he messaged me on Snapchat one day and was like, hey, man, you going anywhere yet? I was like, nah. He's like, I'll have my dad and his guys come watch you. They came and watched one of the games, and then they came to my last 5 games through senior year, and I think I committed before senior day. So
yeah, thank God. Seriously, thank God that happened, because dude, as soon as you it was a collective thing between anybody that had any idea who was good on the team and who wasn't. Anybody on our team who had any kind of feel. As soon as we saw you play in the fall, we were kind of like, all right, we're going to need this guy on the field. Not that obviously there was nothing, you weren't dropping any tanks, doing like that, but instantly when you stepped on the field in the fall, because I kind of have the kind of just, I just really want to freaking win, really bad. I'm just I flipped that switch of competitive, and as soon as you were out there, even when we were scrimmaging in, the fall or something like that, I instantly picked up that vibe that you just wanted to win and you knew how to win. So I was like, yo, we need to get this guy on the field ASAP. And we did a decent job. You played some different positions. We got you on the field, but I think it did take a little long to get you to your spot at shortstop and just say, yo, let's just stick this guy out there every single day and not even really think about it too much. So, yeah, what was that like for you, kind of not getting when everybody on the team, you kind of knew that everybody wanted you to be playing shortstop. Not that, we wanted Garrett obviously in the lineup, but we knew that you at shortstop defensively put us at a huge, huge advantage in the conference, just because we did, having you there, we did feel like you were the best defensive shortstop in the conference. So, give me a little rundown of how that felt for you, freshman year.
Yeah, so it was freshman year, autumn term at Eckerd, how all the guys go to the field. don't know. I was really enjoying the Eckerd life. I maybe go a couple times, throw with my boy Louis, roommate at the time, who we all know and love. Shout out Louis Duran, actually, because that guy's awesome.
He is a good dude. Good dude.
But yeah. So when we first got into the fall, my freshman year, came in, and I definitely wasn't too confident in my skills. I didn't really know I didn't know how good you guys were, and I definitely didn't I only had one offer. I didn't know how it was going to go. It was a preferred walk on, but I was just trying to play my best, pick up the ball, throw it to first base, as I like to always say, and then not strike out. That was my game at the time, and it still is to this day.
Yeah, for sure. No, that was something. It was just like we needed guys that we wanted them to compete. And I talk about this with the players that I work with right now. And these past couple weekends, I've been at some tournaments, and I'm speaking to some guys, and that's a lot of what I'm talking about. Like, you came in and it was instant that I could pick up the competitive nature from you, right? And we talk about things like, this is going to be stupid, but remember when we had that 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and it was me, you, and Garrett, and were we the three best basketball players? Nope. Probably not. But you knew for a fact that we were going to fucking do our best to win, because we wanted to be a team just because we knew we had a common thing that we were going to compete, and it was just that competitive drive. And I'm seeing that a little bit less out of these guys, and I'm trying to make them realize that. Now, don't get me wrong, exit velocity, all these things are super important to get picked up nowadays, but once you get there, what separates guys is the ability to help your team win. That's just simple as that. If you can show, like, a prime example is a Revo. Right? He wasn't supposed to start with us. He wasn't supposed to be in the lineup. And then boom, all of a sudden he started raking, started showing why he could, contribute to team wins. And now he was in the lineup every day. He was playing every day and a contributing guy to our team. So I think he's a perfect example of something like that as well. The other thing that I wrote down here quick is the flag football. The flag football thing was awesome. So like just that's what I think, those types of things kind of, influenced our team to be a little bit better at the end of the day, that senior year, just by like collectively raising the competitiveness level of everybody around you. And I think that's what your type of player did for us. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to get into. We had obviously an unbelievable senior season. We, won a decent amount of games together, had some awesome moments. I've thrown a billion guys out to you. Yeah. You've driven me in. I've driven you in probably countless amounts of times. We've had a lot of good times out on the field together. But actually what I want to talk to you about a little bit before we get into the Savanah Banana stuff is some of our off the field stuff. Right. So we were an awesome group of guys, like, off the field. And I just want to talk about some stuff that I just think kind of helped our team camaraderie a little bit, which was like spike ball on Kappa Field on Sundays, things like that. And even at times like that, talk about like how awesome it was, how competitive we were down there. Just talk about some of the times we had down there a little bit.
Yeah. The thing, like, when I came to Rollins and like I was telling the coaches, like, something we did really well at Eckerd was our team chemistry. Like, and like they could, talking to them, they could tell from the other dugout, like, they're like, these guys are crazy. They root for each other, and like they could tell from like the other teams they're playing could all tell how close we were. And that came with, we would hang out every second of the day. We would get out of practice. We'd get out of practice. We'd go to the field. We'd play spike ball or frisbee, watch sunset. We'd play hacky sack.
Every day.
We were doing
every day.
Whatever. And like, for me, like, just as a team, like, I've been on 2 successful teams now. On the team at Rollins, we went to the World Series this year. Another thing we did was just the chemistry was really high. We played, instead of conditioning, we started playing frisbee. So like similar stuff like that. Like, we would find ways to compete, find ways to be together as a team, and then it definitely pays off on the field, which is something you would not think about.
I totally agree. And I think being able to create an environment of healthy competition while also rooting for each other is super important. So for us, I think that's what all those little extracurricular things, whether it was beer pong in the at the parties, whatever it was, competing against each other, like in a healthy way within your team, I think is some of the most influential things that can, really take effect on your season essentially, and can make you like that mediocre team. If you're kind of one of those borderline teams, it can turn you into that team that's probably leading the conference. Because I totally agree. I think a lot of those things don't get talked about enough when, with good teams. So yeah, you talked about it a little bit. Eckerd's campus, beautiful. We had the beach. We had, a bunch of good stuff going on pretty much all the time. But the next thing I wanted to get into a little bit, just because you're one of the guys that I feel like got a front row seat to this the most, and I do speak about this a lot, which is me being a theater minor in college, right? So me and you had a lot of theater classes. Oh, yeah. So I think we took basic acting. What other one did we take? Did we take improv? What other one were you in with?
I know I took basic acting with you, JC, and Matt Miller for sure. And then did you end up taking the animals in performance?
Oh yeah.
I think I had just had that with.
I don't know if I was in your class.
I think we only had basic acting together, but that was was like both our first, and we loved it. I mean,
oh my gosh, that freaking set me up down a road like instantly after I took that class with you guys and Cynthia Totten. Unbelievable class. I'm serious. Some of the things that I did in those classes, now I'm not saying basic acting in particular because it was just a lot of skits and things like that, but some of the improv classes, some of like the theater production classes that I took ended up 100% being some of the better classes that I took and classes that I learned the most in. Obviously outside of some of the business classes that I took, but still, those classes were unbelievable. The skits we put on, the monologues we did, that's definitely something that I want to get into right now. Just quick, like talk about awesome monologues from all of us in that class. You guys put on a lightsaber battle. You guys did a lot of crazy stuff. So give me what was it like, talk about our experience in that class a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, I mean, that I still talk about those Eckerd theater classes to this day, like just
for sure.
Basically, I mean, first day we're standing in a circle and they're like, we're playing sound and movement where everyone makes a sound and I'll be like, boom, and then you have to do it and everyone has to do it. And then the next person goes and you could say whatever you wanted. You could do whatever you wanted. And the whole class had to do it. And like, I mean, that was awesome. It was something that like as a business major helped me present, got me out of my shell. Maybe
100%.
It's one of those things they talk about with comfort zones. As when you start reaching the end of your comfort zone and you're able to get outside, you create that new comfort zone. And then like,
absolutely.
So like those classes really helped me just like speak to people in general. And also build relationships with those people. Like, I mean, that was probably the strangest group of individuals you could have collected at Eckerd College. But man, when you saw them at a party on the weekend, that was the best conversation. They were so happy to see you. And it's like, we're crossing paths of athletes and theater people. Like you would never thought, like there's fishermen. I mean, there's all walks of life. And it was just awesome. Like I still remember to this day, your final monologue. I mean, that's something that will go down the history books in my mind. I still have videos of it. When it comes up with my Snap memories, I show as many people as possible. So for those of you listening, Mitch did a SpongeBob SquarePants final monologue, and I have the video. Maybe we can use it as a teaser.
Send that to me this week. I'll definitely post that on the Arm Bar, and I'm not scared to send that out there. Go ahead. Yeah, but that was an awesome experience.
Yeah, I mean, you made. I mean, I've never seen the class gave you a standing ovation. What was that one girl's name? What was her name? You know who I'm talking about? The red-haired girl.
Was it Hannah?
The red-haired girl. Athena?
Oh, was it? Athena. Yeah, it was Athena.
I mean, you had her going. She knew what was coming. She was like, "Oh my god!" And she was like, "Yes!" Like she was.
They were pumped.
And then you ended it. I mean, you ended it with, "I'm the Goofy Cooper," and the whole class
and everybody
just
everybody yelled rock. Yeah,
and they had no idea what was coming. And like that was like the icing on the cake to that class for me.
Yeah. Dude, ever since that when we walked in that first day of that class and Cynthia said that we had a monologue, no joke, instantly in my head, I was like, I'm doing the scene from SpongeBob where he gives that speech about the crown. It's one of my favorite
I made it
scenes in
to
any
Shell
movie.
City, and I rode the Hasselhoff. And then you got all emotional, and you're like, but most of all, I'm a kid. Like, I mean, I mean, I would have signed you to a Hollywood script right then and there. I mean, come on.
I think that's the thing that I'm not even kidding you. That senior year, I think just collectively as a unit, we decided to just kind of embrace everybody hating us and do things that were, like you said, out of our comfort zone to kind of build the camaraderie on campus even, right? So we started having to deal with less issues as baseball players on campus because they hated us normally. So we would have to deal with all kinds of stuff. And because we started developing those relationships in each different area of Eckerd, we basically had somebody infiltrated every area of Eckerd. So I think having that really helped us, just as a collective unit, kind of just be able to sit back, focus on baseball. People actually started asking us about our games. So I'd roll into my theater class, and all of a sudden some girl who definitely didn't even know about any baseball, or some guy who didn't even care about athletics at all, would be like, "Oh, how'd the games go this weekend?" And I'd tell them about it. All of a sudden, sometimes we'd see them up in the stands, a little group of them. I remember seeing them come out every once in a while. So yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it was awesome that we did that stuff, put us out of our comfort zone, and honestly, it makes me more comfortable even doing things like this, which I've enjoyed doing a lot. So I definitely owe some things to those theater classes as well. But all right, let's get into it real quick. We'll fly down some things that I want to hear about the Savanah Bananas. I wanted to ask this. You played for them in the Coastal Plains League, right? As just like a normal player in their summer ball league, correct?
Yeah, it was like 2 summers ago. I was on a temp contract, and we were like 10-0, and I ended up. I was told another kid was coming in to play, and I didn't play. We didn't play at Eckerd, so I ended up leaving and going to Newport, Rhode Island, and actually playing with Sammy Cochran for like one last hurrah. So like, I mean, I had a great summer. I went to Savannah, then Newport, and
that's sick. I actually didn't know that, but that's actually hilarious because that's just like so typical for guys like us. Like I got kicked out of the Cape. I got kicked out of the Cape after 10 days. It just so typical for guys like us to kind of get overlooked. Meanwhile, you 100% would have helped that team win that year.
Yeah, there was like a big D1 guy coming in, and he's like, I promised him innings. I mean, you know how it is in the Cape and like the summer league.
Fucking bullshit.
Yep, absolute.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But yeah, so that's awesome. So is that kind of how you did you like keep the relationship with them a little bit there? Give me how you got into the the position that you're in, and just tell me a little bit about the experience that you have.
Yeah, so actually Adam Moreau from Eckerd, I think you played with him, right? Correct?
Yeah, no, I know Adam pretty well.
Yeah, so Adam started working with the Bananas. And then when Eckerd opted out after COVID and didn't play, Sam and I got invited to the original One City World Tour tryout. We went up there. It was a crazy tryout. I mean, we're bat flipping, we're dancing. They're filming TikToks of us. We were definitely out of that comfort zone again, but it only made us better. And then we made it. We were driving on up for the first couple of games, and we get a call from the Eckerd compliance office, and they're like, "Hey, if you guys go and play in this, you're not eligible." So for like, because we're technically professional players.
Yeah, like getting paid.
We just thought if we didn't accept payment, we were good. But so we were in Jacksonville. We actually made a beach day out of it. Went to my cousin's place in Jacksonville Beach. Turned right around. We're like, all right, we're out. And so yeah, I made that team, and then I went and played summer ball. And then Adam again. I'm really thankful for him. I actually trained with him over COVID, but he reached out and was like, "Hey, the draft didn't come calling. You still want to play some ball? Like, come on out." And I was like, "Absolutely, I'll give it a shot." It was like a 6-game tryout. They called it the summer series, but we basically played 3 weekends in Savannah. I was on the Party Animals, and I freaking honestly played some of the best baseball I've ever played in my life.
That's sick, dude. And then obviously they called you for this upcoming world tour. Dude, I watch all those videos. I see all the TikToks. I mean, the atmosphere that's created at some of these things is absolutely unbelievable. I follow Manny on TikTok, so I see a bunch of his stuff. Is there any chance that you could cut that, whatever's making that noise in the background?
I think it's my fan. I got you.
No, it's like I can actually hear like voices, like something like the TV or something like that.
I have nothing. It might be the headphones.
I have no idea.
I hear voices on your end too, or like
Oh shit! So
I hear like an echo.
Okay, so maybe I need to. Here we go. Let's try turning down the volume a little bit. All good, listeners. I apologize for this, but it's all good. No big deal at all. I couldn't figure it out either. I kept hearing like a little echo, whatever it was, but no big deal. So yeah, give me like what it's like playing in that atmosphere. Give me a little bit on this world tour. What you're expecting from yourself. What you're expecting like overall.
Yeah, I mean the atmosphere in Savannah, like that city, they get behind the Bananas. They sell out every single game. I mean, I'm on the Party Animals, so that's maybe it's a downside, but I'm starting to embrace the villain role because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I bet it is.
But yeah, so like the fans are. I mean, they're obviously rooting for the Bananas, but we're starting to see a little shift in the.
I was just about to say, is there like a little squad in like a corner or a little section to where you got some Party Animal people rooting for you?
So what I'm realizing is a lot of the adults who just like to party. I mean, they're getting behind us. They're starting to bring in more Party Animal merch to the stores. I mean, the Party Animal brand is growing. Just over that summer series, we gained like 17,000 on Instagram.
That's sick.
So like,
yeah, I mean, it's super cool the dynamic that you guys have over there. Like with just like the dynamic of that on the Party Animal side just seems really cool. You know, you guys taking the shirts off, freaking doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I saw the flaming bat. I don't even know if that was the Party Animals or the Savanah Bananas, but. Yeah, dude, the atmosphere over on your guys' side is pretty cool. So it's been awesome to see. I'm actually super excited that you're going to be a part of it. I was actually, me and Nicole were just talking about it, and I don't know what cities you guys are going to be in. I didn't check that out yet. But me and Nicole we're thinking about, because we're honestly going to have nothing to do. You know what I mean? We're going to be doing whatever we want. So we're definitely going to take a weekend to come and see you guys at some point and try to figure out, like, maybe we'll drive somewhere and you know, see the games and get some tickets, because I definitely want to see that and experience it for myself, because it just seems like a really, really fun time. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So how many cities? Give me a little bit on the tour.
Yeah, so it's 32 cities. It was actually just released today. You can find it on the website. I know we're going to, I don't know if you're in New York still, or are you in Arizona?
I'm in Arizona right now, but I'm going to be probably
we're coming to Arizona too.
Shut the hell up.
We're going to, there's two games in Arizona at like two different cities. I know one of them's, I think, Peoria.
Bro, that's right down the road. Let's go.
Where's the Giants? We're playing at the Giants spring training complex, or that minor league field. The San Francisco. Yeah, that's one of the fields.
Cool.
But we're going 32 cities around the country. We're hitting California. We're hitting Florida, New York, Milwaukee, Iowa. We're going to Cooperstown to end the year, I think.
Oh, so, that is sick. Yeah, that is dope. Where are you guys playing in Cooperstown?
I have no idea. I don't know what park it is. Cool
I played in the Perfect Game Collegiate League up there, so I know a bunch of stadiums over there. That's where the league is mostly played. But dude, yeah, that's going to be an awesome experience for you. I like I said, me and Nicole already said it, that we're going to try to get out there and try to experience one of those nights for sure. So that's awesome.
Can I add some more on that?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so I don't know, like the whole Bananas thing, like their whole message is like, if you've never been to a baseball game before, and you don't know anything about baseball, you'll still have a good time. We constantly preach fans first. We're two separate teams on the field, but we practice together. We actually have like a script writer who, the game's not scripted, but like from the hour before the fans show up, like hour by hour, sometimes minute by minute until the game starts, of what's going on, where you need to be, what you need to do. It's like there's so much going on behind the scenes that like people don't realize. And the cool thing is, it's like people that are our age that are doing it. So I'm relating to them, and like they're trying to make it big, just like all of us out there. And like it's
awesome.
It's a giant collaborative effort, and it's kind of beautiful to watch it all come together. And like I'm really appreciative of the opportunity.
For sure. Yeah, dude. I think everybody following along and watching it is just kind of, it's just kind of just a good thing. You know what I mean? It's just a nice thing that's growing. It's growing in a positive direction. They're doing positive things. It's, very community based. I think we need a little bit more of that right now. So I think it's an awesome thing. And I think going on this world tour will only, be a benefit to baseball, be a benefit to just the world, essentially. So I'm with you. I'm definitely with you on all that stuff, and I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of follow you along and see stuff that you're posting and see videos that you're in, and all that good stuff. So that's all I kind of have on the Savanah Banana stuff. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. But yeah, anything else you want to say before we kind of move on to the random questions I may have for you?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but I got to play against Johnny Gomes,
Let's go.
Jonathan Papelbon. I didn't get to face him, and then Josh Reddick. I actually was pitching against Josh Reddick, and he hit a home run off me. Dude, I got him down to 2 strikes. You know me, I'm a sidearm pitcher. I threw him a changeup, nowhere in the zone. He took it, and I was like, you know what? It's Josh Reddick. I'm going to go over the top, 84 on a good day, mile-per-hour fastball right by this guy. And he just freaking took it over the right field wall, took his shirt off rounding the bases. They mobbed him at home. And then I go back to the dugout. My boys were like, yo, that was pretty sick. And I was like mad. They're like, Josh Reddick just hit a home run off you. And I was like, oh, like the competitor in me was like, no, but like, I mean, it's pretty cool to say, I guess.
Hell yeah, it's pretty cool. That's so sick. I saw. I'm sure there's going to be even more guests. They
do like a guest appearance, so like a guest player will just. I mean, we didn't even know it. It was game time. I'm out in the field, and they're like, now batting, Josh Reddick, and this dude just comes out of the dugout. We're like, what? And I was like, I don't even know what shift to put.
You're on the mound, like doing some TikTok dance as you're about to do Josh Reddick.
Yeah, no, I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, I haven't seen this guy in BP. I don't know what to throw him, where to play him in the field. I mean, yeah, dude made like a crazy play in right field, was like diving play over his head, and I was like, he's like 1 year out of the big league. So, yeah. I mean,
dude, anybody who plays and has a career in the big leagues, right? Not. Don't get me wrong. Anybody who makes it to the big leagues is an absolute freak. But those who have longevity in the big leagues, like, you're a savage, like, you're a beast, you're an absolute one-of-a-kind human being. So I'm sure he stepped on that field and everybody was like, holy shit, because I've seen it, firsthand as well, even in indie ball or even in, spring training and things. Those guys are absolute freaks. So yeah, no, that is totally awesome. I appreciate you sharing that with us. But yeah, let's get it. I call this part of the show. You don't really understand it. You never got the nickname Catch. But my nickname in pro ball, unfortunately, was Catch, considering I spent all my time in the bullpen. So I named it Catch's Corner because this show kind of was inspired in the bullpen, essentially. So the first thing I want to do with you, we'll do it really quick. I apologize for putting you on the spot, but I want to do a video game draft. Your favorite video games of all time. I'll start with you. We'll do a quick 5-round draft. You give me your favorite video game of all time.
My favorite video game of all time.
Or your number one overall draft pick, I guess.
Oh, if it's a draft. Dang. I'm taking... I think it's MVP 06 with Manny Ramirez on the cover. 05. And then
did you ever create a player with the last name Patterson? Did you ever do that in that game?
I think mine was.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You can get the cheat code.
Yeah, so the cheat code where he's a 3-foot tall player and he has like a big barrel bat, like the barrel of his bat.
Anytime you make contact with it. Yeah, I think.
And then he'll come on the bump. he'll come on the bump and throw like 104. Oh my gosh, that was my favorite thing to do, was build a team full of him.
Yeah, there was Patterson. I think another one was like Katie Roy. I think that name rings a bell. And like that, he was a little taller. But I mean, I remember me and my brother made a whole custom team of
That's
all
what
of
I'm
them.
saying. I used to do that shit too.
And
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it was like 100. The score. We put up like 116 runs in a game.
You're just pimping ding dongs. Yeah, you're just pimping home runs over and over again. It's so much fun. But all right, MVP baseball 2005. I think I gotta go. It's pretty. I gotta go. I think the original Black Ops. I think I'm going Call of Duty, the original Black Ops. The zombies in that game, endless hours on that with my buddies. So yeah, I'm definitely going Black Ops for the zombie purposes for sure.
All right, I like your Call of Duty pick, and definitely is another avenue. I don't know. I want to like have like 5 different picks. I don't want to just do all like sports games.
Sure. You gotta have a little bit of variety for sure on your list.
Yeah, I'm going. I mean, number 2. I'm thinking back to my childhood. Nintendo. No, it was Nintendo GameCube. Nintendo GameCube, and I'm taking Super Monkey Ball.
Okay, wow. So is that the one where you could launch off the ramps and like do different game modes
so there
and
was
stuff like that?
It was like the first game that came with my GameCube, and there's levels. There's like 10 stages per level, and you just had to it was like a maze. You just kind of go through. You could fall if you fell off the map, you died. And I mean, there was some levels. I mean, if I didn't just randomly get hit by some random object and make it to the goal, I would have spent like 3 months on a level. And like when I was 12 years old, I mean, that was like at my summer camp, we would do like this thing, and it was whoever could go the farthest was like the coolest kid in camp. And like, I remember there's this kid, Ben, I just could never beat Ben, man. And Ben was the man. But like,
damn.
Between that and all the mini games where you could do the jump off the ramp and
that's
like
what I'm
baseball,
saying.
soccer.
I remember it being at my dentist office. That's how I know that game for sure, because I remember me and my brother would do the ramp one where you had to, get the furthest or whatever it was.
Yeah, you like fly and Yeah. I mean, that game, I love that game. So that's my number 2.
That's a classic. That's awesome. I'm not going to lie. I got nervous when you said Nintendo because my second round pick is Mario Kart. I mean, I'm gonna get roasted by Nicole because I just said Mario Kart instead of Mario Kart. I'm from Long Island. You got to cut me some slack with that. But yeah, round 2. I mean, the amount of hours, my personal favorite character in the game, whether it's Mario Super Sluggers or Mario Kart, I gotta go. Dry Bones is my dude. I roll him out there every time. He's like my favorite Mario character of all time. So I'm definitely going Mario Kart.
All right,
round 3, baby.
Round 3. I'm gonna stick with the Nintendo, and I gotta go Smash Bros. I mean, I honestly haven't played much of the recent Smash Bros, but my cousins gave me their old Nintendo 64, and I just it's like the fondest. Like when I'm a young kid, those are like my best memories, and me and my friends played the original Smash Bros on the 64 nonstop. So
yeah, that's a solid pick. I feel like you kind of get it rejuvenated in college too. I knew I ended up playing a lot of Smash Bros against people in college, going to different dorm rooms and playing all kinds of people. Honestly, non-athletes, athletes. I've played a bunch of different people in some Smash Bros at Eckerd. So great pick there. I'm gonna kind of go with a little bit of a crazy one here. I'm going Guitar Hero 3. Okay, I was addicted to that shit. All I remember is that first song on the playlist, which was Slow Ride. And I remember hearing that riff and just ripping it on my plastic buttons guitar, and having a lot of good times with some of my friends from high school and things, playing that game. So yeah, my round 3 pick, definitely Guitar Hero 3. What you got?
Round 4, I gotta go. Game I played over quarantine got me through a ton of days. I would go to bed. I would stay up all night playing it. Go to bed, wake up in the morning, press the PS4, Call of Duty Warzone. I mean, I gotta take Warzone. That was just a revolutionary game in my opinion. Came after Fortnite, but I liked it Warzone way better.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. Warzone's awesome. They've had a couple bad games.
I don't really play it anymore.
Updates.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I
no, I'm
loved
actually
it.
really looking forward to this new Call of Duty. I love when the new ones come out. So
Me
I'm
as well.
like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm gonna give them my free $70 that I give them every other year or whatever it is.
Yep.
But it's gonna be
Me
the
too.
same game. But I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. So that'll bring me to my round 4 pick. Dude, I think just based on how great of a game it is, how legendary, I think you can make the argument that it's going to go down as probably the greatest game ever. You already mentioned it. I'm going Fortnite round 4. I feel like it'd be disrespectful to not have it on the list, so I'm going Fortnite round 4.
I like that pick. I mean, like you said, that game changed how video games are played. I actually, like, in college, that was like that. Man, that was the first time people stopped hanging out with each other because
Oh
they're all
yeah,
playing Fortnite. Like, we used to just roll into each other's places and play NHL,
NHL, yeah.
2K, like whatever. Like, we would just all play together. And then Fortnite came around. I mean, it was a blast. So
Yeah, no, that's sick. So, all right, yeah, give me your round 5 final pick. What are you going with?
round 5, and to this day, if there's any game I'm putting money on, like if I'm betting someone and I'm playing,
Ooh, here we go.
FIFA.
Wow.
FIFA.
Wow. I've heard, I feel like I've heard that you're pretty good at that game. I've never been a FIFA guy. You know what my game is. If I would put a sports game like that, if I would put a game like that in my list, I'm not going with this round in my round 5. But you know, NHL is my game. I'll bet my skills against anybody in NHL. Even now in Pro Ball, since Pro Ball, I've 100% gotten way better too. So I played a lot of guys in Pro Ball, a lot of really good NHL guys in Pro Ball. So that would be my game for that. But my round 5, go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was pretty good at NHL, and then I came to your dorm one day, and you just put it on me. And I still don't think I ever got a win against you, so I think you're correct on that.
I don't know why. I never played hockey growing up. I maybe played a little bit of roller hockey, but for some reason I've always enjoyed that game. I think it's one of the most fast-paced, one of the most entertaining sports games. So I got good at it young, and I just continued to try to get better at it each year. So yeah, no, NHL, I do think I'm pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like elite, but definitely one of my better games. But my round 5 pick is a classic, is an absolute classic. I think it's, probably the most influential video game on me because me and my brother used to sit there at our PC computer and play this all the time, all day, which was Backyard Baseball with Mike Piazza on the cover. It's one of the original ones. We used to sit there all the time. So my round 5 pick, 100% needed it to be on my list, is Backyard Baseball, specifically the Mike Piazza version. That was awesome. I'm going to definitely post that on TikTok, cut it up so, we'll be able to, have a nice round, a 5-round draft of that stuff up on TikTok. The next thing I want you to do quick, these next 2 things are going to be really quick, then we'll call it a night, is your World Series pick. You don't really have to go into too many details, but I'm just going to make a quick TikTok clip. So yeah, give me your World Series pick.
To win it all?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say the Rays. I mean, they're my hometown team.
For sure.
But let's just say if I'm not saying the Rays, Houston Astros.
Yeah, dude, I think they have a good shot just because I think they have the best pitching and the best just team overall, best roster on the AL. And I think the dogfight that's going to go on in the NL is going to influence a little bit of, don't get me wrong, they're going to compete for the World Series, but whatever team comes out of the NL, I think it's going to be a way more difficult road.
Absolutely.
But I personally, I hate to say it, even though I do root for them nowadays, I really do think the Braves are going to do it. I think
they're good. They're good.
They are really good.
And they have Acuna this year.
And two, I'm not a good mix, and I think that's the recipe for success when trying to repeat, because you kind of have those guys that are on edge and bring a little bit of that nervous energy, which I think you need to win in those situations, and then you have those other guys who are going to be a little bit more laid back, have that experience. So I'm curious to see if Mike Harris plays good in the playoffs. I'm curious. So I think there's like a good mix, and I think that's the recipe for success when trying to repeat, because you kind of have those guys that are on edge and bring a little bit of that nervous energy, which I think you need to win in those situations. And then you have those other guys who are going to be a little bit more laid back, have that experience. So I'm curious to see if Mike Harris plays good in the playoffs. I'm curious to see some of these young guys pitch well for the Braves, because I have a lot of relationships with some of those guys: Spencer Strider, Bryce Elder, Vaughn Grissom, Mike Harris, those kind of guys. I know them personally, so I'm excited to see them play in the playoffs and kind of follow that along. But I really do, unbiased, now don't get me wrong, it's a little biased, but unbiased, I really do think that they have the best chance to win it again. The last question, this will be it for the show. You're one of the most athletic guys in terms of being able to play multiple sports. That's kind of what I like to base athleticism off of. Now, don't get me wrong, being able to run fast, jump high, all those things help. But I think the ability to play a lot of sports is super unique, and I think you're one of those guys. So here's the question I have for you. I've asked this on the show before to another guy. If you could make the Olympics in a sport, if you dedicated the rest of your life to a sport, what sport do you think you could possibly sneak into the Olympics for? Besides baseball, obviously.
I'm going with volleyball.
Love that. I love that pick. I picture you as like a what do they call it? Like a libero?
Yeah, I'm going beach volleyball though. 2 people.
Oh, so I love that even more. I actually love that even more.
After we didn't play at Eckerd my senior year, I picked up volleyball. I literally bought like a $75 ball. I went one night. I rolled out to the courts with my boys to North Shore, and that's where like all the competitive is playing. And they all left. They're like, we're not ready for this. And I was like, you know what? I'm staying. And first game, got my absolute ass handed to me by like 2 40-year-olds, and I was playing with this other random redhead kid. But by the end of it, I mean, I've never played with a kid who just set me so perfectly. And I mean, our chemistry was clicking. I mean, we were just owning people, and I had a blast.
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, now that you just said that out loud, I think I might have to enter a tournament or something with somebody to do some beach volleyball, whether it's like a charity thing, because I know they have them all the time in places. So beach volleyball, love that take. I'm going to give the same answer that I gave the last time I asked this question. But I always said that, I'm not going to lie, I personally don't even think I'd have to train that much. I think I just need to know the rules, and that's handball. The European handball.
Yeah, that looks so much fun.
That literally, no joke, I literally think that, like, if I were to put any amount of effort in that, I think I could be pretty good. I feel like that sport is literally what I'm good at, which is dribbling and throwing the shit out of a ball. So yeah, handball I think is the one that if I put some work into, I could possibly sneak into that Olympic roster, even as a reserve or some shit. But yeah, that's all I got for you, buddy. Dude, we had some technical difficulties, so if y'all are listening, I'm going to edit it up. You guys probably won't even notice, but I appreciate you coming on the show, Chase. I thought it was awesome. Throw out your socials real quick. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect you to get flooded with followers just from listening to the podcast. But yeah, throw out your socials real quick.
Yeah, just at Chase Achuff, no spaces. See Chase and then ACHUFF on Instagram and TikTok. Cool. And then I think on Twitter there's like an underscore in between my name, but you should be able to find me, just my name.
Gotcha. And I'll tag you in everything that I post about you on TikTok, because I'll post some of these clips. And yeah, I'll tag you in everything on Instagram and on TikTok, and just so, help you build yourself up. Even if, no, don't get me wrong, you got more followers than me on TikTok because of some of those viral videos that you made. But yeah, no, I'll tag you in everything so you can follow along with some of the stuff I post. But everybody, I appreciate you guys listening to this week's episode of the Arm Barn. And yeah, have a good rest of your week, everybody.